Hey everyone, this is Nitro. In this video, I'm going to cover what happened over the past week with my account, as well as my upcoming plans for August, because it is just about to be the new month. Well, in the weekend of this week anyways. So let's begin, as usual though, with talking about the equipment farming results of the past week. So the week before last week, I got 8 SSRs, and then the last week, I got 8 or 9. I have to actually admit, I'm not entirely sure because I actually don't remember exactly what SSRs I got on Sunday. So it's either 8 or 9. Alright, so in terms of crystals, the previous week I had 18 vouchers and 11,099 crystals on hand. The current week, my number of vouchers actually spiked to 32. I'm actually not quite sure what happened there. And in addition, Macho Lotto, in terms of crystals, I now have 12,681. In addition to that though, I did use 650 crystals in the Macho Lotto last week. So because of that 650 crystals used, my actual increase was 14 vouchers and 2,232 crystals, which is pretty good. Okay, the 14 vouchers especially. Really, as I said, I'm not sure how I got 14 additional vouchers, but I'm not complaining. So in terms of the SSRs last week, Timeless Trial gave me a Drop Near, which I ordered. My gambles last week gave me a Charon, which raises my 5th one to level 50. Haven't done that yet, but it does. And then my armor gambles, which I did 3 of them, gave me 300 ore. So none of the gambles were worth keeping. In terms of the dailies and joint battle items, as well as world events, of course, the 2 dragon runs on Monday gave me a Purgatory and Soul Stealer headdress. On Tuesday, I actually got 4 SSRs. Goddess Dress, Carbon Fiber Armor, and 2 Frost Reds. Wednesday also gave me a Dark Crown, so I was getting tons of SSRs those first 3 days. I thought it would be an amazing week. But then Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I got no SSRs at all. So it started off really strong, then I got no SSRs for 3 days in a row. And then Sunday, I picked up a Last Night, and I might have picked up a Miracle Staff. I'm not entirely sure on that last point. Okay, I now have 5 Miracle Staffs, more than I need really. But yeah, so I might have picked up my 5th Miracle Staff. I might have had it in the past, then I just didn't know. I'm not entirely sure on that one. So that's why I wrote I think, but beside that. Overall, that meant I kept 3 of the 3 SSRs in total, but none of them were the SSRs I need. So the SSR I need continue to remain the same. Extreme Magic Bow and Mimir's War Axe for weapons. More Tenyo's headdresses for helmets. More Last Rites for armors. And accessories continues to be Twilight Star, Juggler Plushie, Swordsmith Medal, and an Apex Boots. Of those 4, I would say I want 1 more Swordsmith Medal, maybe 2. And 1 Apex Boots. I'd prioritize those over the Juggler Plushie as well as the Twilight Star. So that's pretty much what I'm looking for right now. Next up then is shard farming for August 2020. And this is what has changed dramatically, right? So I'm going to go over my plans for the following month. First, the banners. Okay. So the banners I have written on the right side. This week is Licorice and Renata, which I'm definitely going to be summoning on. There's also another major banner, another major update in the month of August, and that will be Reen and Arianrod, which is the Trails of Cold Steel collaboration heroes. Reen is a great AoE attacker, Arianrod is a Lancer class striker, which is really meant for PvE content, but Reen is quite a prize. Okay. So in other words, I have 2 banners to draw on, Licorice and Renata, and Reen and Arianrod, to try to get Reen and Licorice respectively. The banners in between, there is going to be Emilia and Akaya next week, and I'm going to skip that. You know, I highlighted it in blue, thinking I might draw on it, but I can't afford to. Okay, not with Reen and Arianrod at the end of the month. Would be nice to draw on it because then I could buff up my Akayat for potential use, but I can't. So excuse me. So it's going to be a skip. The week after, we'll have Listel, Lambda, and Brenda. I have all 3 heroes, so that's another skip. The week after that is Bozel, Liana, and Luna. I have all 3 heroes, and all 3 heroes are 6 stars in fact, so that's another skip for me. So yeah, 2 banners that I plan to draw on, long story short. In terms of shard farming, you can see that I'm going to be doing Ares, Rene, and Gizroth for the rest until Wednesday. And then on Thursday, as long as I get Licorice, I'm going to switch away from farming Rene to farming Licorice. Right? So I'm going to leave Rene as is with whatever shards she has. It's not 37 out of 50. It should be 37 out of 100 on Rene. So I have a typo on the left side. But yeah, so Rene will be left as is. She'll be at 4 stars, you know. But I think Licorice is a better hero. So I'm going to be farming Licorice instead of Rene as a result. And of course, Ares and Gizroth will continue to get farmed up in preparation for the Apex playoffs. So Apex playoffs, I have actually highlighted in purple. They are supposed to start on Saturday, August 22nd. So that there will actually have me have a 6-star Gizroth. So I'm going to have Gizroth fully ready. My Ares will not be 6 stars, but I'm okay with that. You know, Ares is another AoE attacker in the first place. You know, it would be nice to have him at 6 stars, but even if he's at 5 stars, that should be fine anyways. So there shouldn't be any real adjustments to my party for the playoffs. Like, the party that I pretty much have now will be the party I use for the playoffs, so that should be fine. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be farming Ares, Licorice, and Gizroth for most of this month as a result, until Gizroth is done. When Gizroth is done, I'm going to continue farming up some more shards of Rene until I presumably get Reen. And then once I get Reen, I'm going to switch off of farming Rene again to start farming up Reen. So yeah, Rene is more of a character that I'm going to steadily farm up and eventually bring up to 6 stars, because she has to be 6 stars to be used. Okay. Until she's 6 stars, she's not really worth using. So in the meantime, I will be farming up other heroes as a result. Now, I don't need Rene in my party right now in the first place, so she's more of a nice to have as a AoE debuff attacker. So that's my overall plans for this month in terms of shard farming and so on. You know, definitely going to be gearing up for the Apex playoffs, which is actually coming much faster than I expected it to be. You know, I thought I had more time, but I don't. So let's move into the game at this point, right? And with regards to, so what will we talk about here? So changes to my training ground, right? I'm continuing to gear up for the Apex playoffs, which, as I mentioned, much shorter period left than I thought, 23 days, right? Briefly mentioning this as well, I'm currently now at 1970 points, so I dropped a bit in points. Right? I think I was at 1994 last week. That's because I lost more matches than I won. In fact, I think I lost 4 matches and won 2. It was kind of a mess this weekend, right? Lost this one, lost this one, lost this one, then won one, then lost another one to Desu Life, and then finally won another one. So yeah, 2 wins, 4 losses last week. Kind of a mess, but oh well, it's fine. My current score should be enough to get me into the playoffs anyways, and that's all I'm really aiming for. So, and in terms of the rank though, I have dropped, but I'm still in the top 100, right? Before, I was all the way up to like, 30 something, in the 30s somewhere. Now I'm down to the 71st. But at the end of the day, as long as I'm in the playoffs, I'm okay with all of that. So that's my Apex playoff rank at this time. Other than that, in terms of my characters, there has been a few adjustments because of the couples banners, right? So with the couples banners, I did 2 trades on the very last day. One was trading 50 Landia shards for 60 Angelina shards. So Angelina got 60 additional shards. She is now 5 stars and quite usable. So I have unlocked her 3C today. So now she'll be another character who can go into my Apex Arena party. So that gives me a bit more versatility. So this was the first adjustment. The second adjustment will be that, well, my Sigma actually hit 5 stars as well. I traded the 50 Claret shards for 60 Sigma shards. And as a result, Sigma is now at 25 out of 150. So Sigma is now grindable to 6 stars as well, potentially. Claret is all the way down to 0 out of 50. It's going to take forever to grind her up, but at least I now have a much more usable Sigma, potentially. So that should be interesting. right? It opens up some avenues of using more characters in the US Legends faction, potentially. Not that I have Claret built up, not that I have Mystery Knight built up, but at least I have some more options now, you know? With a second faction buffer. Alright, so that's 2 characters that have become much more usable. Potentially, anyways. You know, I need guild medals to upgrade Sigma especially. So for some time, I think Sigma's going to be stuck as unusable because I have to finish up this class of his first. And then after I finish up that class, then I have to put his class mastery into, well, probably go into Raider to get the extra stats from here, the 12 extra attack, before going to Sniper. That's going to need 3 Epic Martial Spirits. Or sorry, 3 Rune Stones. And in the first place, I probably want to finish up my Rachel. My Rachel has been 5 stars with single class mastery for a very long time. I kind of want to get the Gospel on her at the very least. So that's another character I have to build up. And finally, I'm still looking at maybe finishing up Freya so that I can do the world map that I have not done at all. Because I'm in no rush to do it. And the world map that I haven't done and I'm no rush to do is Secret Meeting. The rewards are just not worth the effort, frankly. So I'm not going to touch this map for a while. You know? Yeah, it's just not worth it unless you can 100% clear it. Because otherwise you cost yourself a lot of stamina. So yeah, we'll see how that one goes. Okay, so other than that, what else is worth covering right now? Okay, so in terms of, I'm not spending any money on the game at this time, except for maybe renewing the Clock of Forgiveness to make it more efficient for me to do videos. But other than that, all of these are just sponsored, right? The sponsored purchases of Gift of the Goddess and Flag of Courage, which remain for 282 days for still. So I'm just going to be maintaining that for quite some time. And other than that, in terms of gear adjustments, nothing has changed. I used a whole bunch of enchants over this weekend and today, right? Because I got the 60 new enchant scrolls, so I turned it all into Thorns enchants, and I actually used a whole bunch of enchants on my Luna as well. Neither of them gave me anything good, right? So in the case of Juggler, I was hoping to get an improved roll on one of these items for the Thorns enchants, right? More than 23% or whatever, and it didn't happen. In the case of Luna, I was hoping for magic defense with hit points, or magic defense with defense and maybe hit points. Didn't happen either. So you can still see none of the rolls on this was good at all. So I still have the exact same rolls as before, pretty much. So, rolled a lot of Hard Rock and a lot of Ice enchants. I don't have any SSR scrolls of either type right now. And unfortunately, luck just didn't favor me this weekend, so back to the drawing board. So my number of SSR enchants has decreased dramatically as a result, because there's no more Ice and Hard Rock enchants here anymore. Right? Just a few Crystal enchants. And yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of Steel enchants, because I don't really use Steel. A whole bunch of Meteor enchants, and same with Blazing Sun. Right? So the key enchants, which is Breeze, Clocks, Thorns, and I guess Blue enchants, none of them are in any high numbers at all. Yeah, it's a shame. A lot of enchants, nothing good. But I still have a good amount of gold for preparing to upgrade Licorice when I get her. So there is that. Alright, so other than that, I guess the only thing worth mentioning is, at this point, the store. Specifically gambling. So I currently have 995 Orichalcum ore saved up, and I'm going to do some gambles with it as a result. And in terms of gambling, it's going to be headgear first of all, because I need the Tenyo's headdress, Loki's mask, tiara, and Dark Crown. All 3 are garbage, so those 3 are getting turned right back into ore. Right? Still gonna keep gambling on them because I really do need more Tenyo's headdresses. So every week I will continue to do these 3 gambles. And as for the weapon, ones, I'm going to be pretty much skipping. As for the armor ones, I think I can afford to do some armor gambles this week. So I just turned those 3 into ore. I now have 695 again, which gives me just enough to do my helmet gambles. Or sorry, my armor gambles. So all I'm looking for here is lacerates. Goddess Dress, Giant's Resolve, Mirror Armor. So all 3 were garbage as well. So in other words, basically wasted ore. 600 ore. Well, what I will do though is I'm probably going to hold on to that Goddess Dress. And it's not because the Goddess Dress is good. Oh wait, no, I do have a Boulder's White Robe. Never mind. I'm not going to hold on to that. I'm going to get rid of all 3. Okay. Well, maybe I'll hold on to it for now, because I actually do have a level 20 Goddess Dress on Shafaniel, simply because I don't have anything else to equip for now. But long-term wise, I don't know if I want to keep it. You know what? Let's just get rid of it. Yeah. Because I do... So, I now have level 30, level 40, level 50. So I can get rid of the Giant's Resolve for sure. Don't need that. The Goddess Dress I definitely don't need, so I'll get rid of that. And then the Mirror Armor, I don't need another Mirror Armor. So I'll get rid of that 3rd one too. So, back to 395 ore after all. So unfortunately, nothing good there either. And the very last thing to mention would be the training ground, the current status of it. Flyer and Aquatic is nearly fully done at this point, right? 50 defense, match defense, 50% defense, attack is at 68, hit points is at 62. I just want to raise the attack to 70 and the hit points to probably 66, and I'm going to leave it at that point. So that will be the end of any further upgrades to my Flyer training ground for a very, very long time. I do want to look at maybe leveling up the Leviathans though. That's something I'm considering. Raising up to level 10 Leviathans, because this weekend's video of Gizaroth showed a few battles where I was using Gizaroth with lobsters and he just didn't do the damage I wanted him to do. So something that's worth considering for me to upgrade, which is the Leviathans. And it's not like Leviathans are only used by Gizaroth, right? Hiei can use them for the water maps, right? Omega can use them. So there are other characters who can use these Leviathans on certain maps as a result. So something I'm considering, upgrading the Leviathans. Hit points is pretty much a must, and I will have this done this week for sure. The attack one, that's the one I'm a little bit iffy on, because I need 50 more of these epic breeding material books, and I don't have it, right? I won't have any books after I do this upgrade this week. So we'll see. But I am in dire need of more Flyer books, because right, Leviathan will need some. And then if I choose to upgrade Steelwing Warrior, that'll need some. You know, a lot of these Flyer soldiers and Flyer aquatic soldiers are actually useful. And most of them I don't have fully upgraded yet. Even Griffin Knights, even Vampire Bats, right? Leviathans, Steelwing Warriors, you know, Gargoyles, because Listel could use Gargoyles. So all these soldiers, none of them are fully upgraded. And they're all utility soldiers. Tidal Elves is probably the one that's least utility for me. But yeah. All these other ones have utility all one way or another. So I don't know. It's going to be iffy because I want to focus on leveling up the Holy and Demon training ground in preparation for Apex playoffs. So I'm probably going to have to abandon some of them. I'll decide. I'm going to have to make some tough decisions in preparation for the Apex playoffs. I think I'm going to prioritize Holy and Demon though to get these soldiers here tankier. So, yep. So I'm going to be a bit lacking in training ground, that's for sure, for the playoffs this season. But that's pretty much the norm for me. It's not like I ever had a good training ground anyways. Or at least good compared to the other people I face off against in Apex playoffs. So that's pretty much it. There's nothing else to mention at this time. You know, the enchants have failed for this week, and it's just... but I did get a few new heroes that can be rotated into my Apex party for the playoffs. And the thing to be looking forward to is potential new characters with the major update, right? Because a whole bunch of new characters gets their 3Cs. In particular, the one worth mentioning is probably Imelda, right? Imelda gets her 3C, which allows her to buff up the mobility of an ally and give them additional stats. So that may change up my party a bit more if I can throw Imelda into the mix for the playoffs. So more options is always nice to see. But we'll see. All right. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you found this video interesting or useful to you. And on that note, Nitro out.